Hello and welcome to my Neewer TL60 video review. And can this sub $200 light stick or light wand be any good? Well, with 2 hours of battery life and 36,000 colours to choose from with wireless remote control via the Neewer app, and it all just weighs 820 grams, that helps make the Neewer TL60 one of my favourite RGB video lights as of yet. So come on, let's get into it and I'll walk you through its features, how to set it up, and my opinion on this light after using it for several weeks now. So this is the box the TL60 comes in, and this is the nice carrying bag the TL60 comes in that's included inside the box. So let's pop it open and see what's inside. So, instruction booklets, all that stuff, lovely, fantastic. Then let's open above on top here. We have our power supply. We have the light wand clamp. I'm going to talk more about this later on. Very handy little gadget. And here we have a power cable. We have a metal straining wire. Again, going to talk about this in a minute. And we also have an RJ45 cable there too as well. And in this section then, there is a zip on this side. So you can just open this, and this is the TL60 light wand itself. Now the first thing you'll notice about the Neewer TL60 is the build quality. And yes, I know I'm like a broken record now at this stage talking about Neewer products and how they could easily sell for twice the price. But it's so very true. The build quality of this light is just great. And it really feels like a top quality product. I've always liked Neewer products and I've been buying them now for years. I currently have about 30 to 40 of their products scattered around my studio, and they've always delivered for me. And the price to performance ratio has always been staggeringly good. The TL60 light wand is no exception to that either. Now I mentioned at the start of the video that this RGB tube light or wand is under $200. But remember, crazily, with my Neewer discount code HAZE21, you get another 21% off that price, making it just roughly around $158, which is totally stupid money for something this good. So getting back to the TL60 itself, it has a 2-hour battery life thanks to its large 3000 ampere hour battery, and it's super easy to charge again via the DC adapter that's included. Now, would USB-C be a nicer charging system? Well, of course it would. And that's the only slight negative I can see in this light. But wait, why is it not charged via USB-C, and why is it charged via a dedicated DC power supply? Well, the reason is so you can use it while you're charging it via mains. The 20 volt mains adapter has enough power to keep this light running all day. And remember, this is a super bright 60 centimeter tube light. So that negative has just crazily become a positive too as well. Now, speaking of brightness, the TL60 has a 20 watt output, giving you 1730 lux at 0.5 of a meter, which for a self-powered 2-hour battery life portable light is just awesome. Now, if you need more time or power from a light, then I highly recommend you check out the Neewer MS150C video light, as you can also power that via V-mount batteries and mains. And yes, it can also be controlled via the Neewer app also. I have a review for that. I'm going to leave it in the description down below. So what are the practicalities of using this light? Well, it has 2 mounting options with the built-in 1/4 inch mounting point on the base of the light wand. And the second mounting option is the light clip, which I have here, which is also supplied. And this has 2 mounting points here too as well again 1/4 inch mounting points. So you can see here again, you can mount it on a tripod stand, a light stand, or a C stand. So the light clip or stand, simply what I do is normally I just pop it down there, pop the light in, twist it, and then you just close the little tension here, and that's it. It's on, and that'll hold it in place. You can then mount that onto your tripod, onto your light stand or C stand, and away you go. So this is bringing us to the metal wire we have here. So what you can do is you can simply slide that through the base here, and pull it out the other side, and I can just twist it together and it will tighten up, and you can actually hang it off something then if you want. You just might need to balance the light a small bit. But if you wanted to hang it off a pole or something along those lines, you can do that then too as well. And speaking of mounting onto a pole, what I'd normally do there is I would use a magic arm. With the 1/4 inch thread, we'll screw in here, and the magic arm clamped in can go around the pole, and you can actually mount that in position and you can adjust it whatever you want. I usually have a magic arm in my camera bag with me or in my gear bag, so that's incredibly handy yet again. I tend to use the base mount for vertical mounting options, and I use the light clip then for horizontal installs, like the one I'm about to show you here now. So I have my tripod here, and I just mounted my quick release plate onto the light stand clip here. So what I'm gonna do is just pop the tripod behind me, pop this on top. I have my mobile phone here too as well, so I'm going to show you the special effects and how to control it from the phone itself. So what I'm going to do is going to pop the app up on screen here now too as well, and you can see the background light is gone off. I am in HSI mode, so what I'm going to do is just increase the brightness here now, and I'm going to adjust it, and boom, there we go. I can set the brightness level to whatever I want. I can put it up quite high. That is a bit much. bring it back down to whatever I want, or I can just simply move around to get whatever color I want. So I'm just looking at my off-screen monitor here now, and I'm kind of going, no, I kind of like the blue one, something around there now, let's say, and I can just bring it down a small bit too as well again. So that is very easy to control and very easy to set up from the app itself. So it is incredibly handy for remote locations where you can't get out the light, or if you're filming something and it's just a bit of background light, like I'm shooting in the studio here now, I can adjust the light to whatever taste I want without getting up, adjusting a small bit, going back, sitting back down along again and see how it look. Whereas now I can actually do it all from my phone itself. So that is really, really handy. And as you can see, that is about 32% brightness. If I bring it all the way up, that is really bright. And out of curiosity, if I go pure white there now, and if I bring that all the way up, you can see that is a very bright light, and bring it back down. And the one thing you'll notice is there's a nice even light because it's a light bar. I had two separate smaller lights before, one on each side, so I meant I had to power them separately, switch them on, control them separately. Now it's all being done from one light. So that is a lot handier for me personally. Now what I can also do is I can also match it to specific lights. So let's say if I go back along here now again, and if I go to HSI there now again and just pull it down to blue, so we're on blue here now. And if I say no, what I want to do is I want to match it to the exact color temperature of that, my main light, my key light there now as such, I can go up here to source match. And what I can do then is just point it up, point it at the light and press select, and boom, there we have it. It's exactly the same color temperature in a split second. So you can pair your lighting, and that is incredibly handy. I can go to my effects mode. So we can switch on lightning. Give it a second. There we go. There's lightning going off in the background, or we can go paparazzi, or we can go defective bulb. Give it a second, that'll start flashing there now in a second. And again, we can change the color temperature, we can change the brightness and intensity of all these effects. We have explosion. So give it a second there now. There's an explosion going off in the background. We have welding here then. And then we have CCT flash. There we go. And we have U flash. There we are. CCT pulse. Yeah. Q pulse. Then we have special effects like the cop car or police car. So if you had that in the background, let's say I can bring the brightness way down if I wanted to make it a bit less of an effect. Have it off in the background, so we could just have it lighting this section of the scene here now if you wanted to give the impression you were at an accident, or there was something after happening off in the distance. So you can kind of simulate that, or obviously I can bring the brightness level up a lot then too as well if I want to make the effect far more pronounced. And we have candlelight, so it's going to give you a slight flicker. You see there now? Yeah, it's just slightly pulsing, just slightly flickering. And hue loop, it's going to keep changing colors around. Now we can adjust the speed of this, and we can also adjust the brightness too as well. We've CCT loop, and then we have intermittent loop. We have TV screen, so that's basically going to emulate or make it feel like there's a television screen on in the background. So we have our fireworks, So there are fireworks going off in the background, and we have party mode. So our party's going in the background, and then we have our music mode. You'll notice as I talk, the lights are flashing, but when I stop talking, the lights will stop flashing. So if there was music playing here, the light will actually respond to the music itself. So, and again, we're back then to lightning. But that gives you an idea of the effects you can use in this. And it is so easy to set this up and to use it, especially through the app. Now, I'm also going to show you how you can set it up on the back of the light itself too as well, because there's a touchscreen on that, which is incredibly handy if you don't want to use your mobile device. So as you can see, the TL60 is simple to use via the app, and being able to pair it with the rest of your lighting setup is great for setups like this. Like I have the MS150C here, I have a few other lights, I can pair them all up and get them all working together. So how do we use the TL60 manually? Well, it's very easy to use. What we do is we hold down the power button, and when we hold that down, unlock is going to come up here. So we just turn this dial. It's asking you to unlock it by turning the dial. It unlocks the display and the light comes on the last setting we're using. Now, in this instance, it's coming up on HSI. So what I'm going to do is I can just touch anywhere on the screen and I'm going to change the color immediately. So I can select back up here again for my blue if I want. If I go here now and say, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Now the control here is set on saturation, so I can adjust the level of saturation of that particular color. So when I go over 100, it goes back to 0. So that gives us a white light then. And then going back along then again, it's at 100. So that is 100% at that HSI setting. So that's giving us our blue light there now. And I can adjust the output intensity of the light. So I can make it brighter or darker with the bottom one. And the top one here then alternates between saturation or hue. If I press the double arrow button here, which is on the lower line in the middle, the small arrow goes up to hue, and then I can adjust the hue to whatever color temperature I want to get whatever color I'm looking for. Or again, I can just touch the screen here anywhere and pull it up or pull it down to whatever color. Let's say if I go, mad, I want a nice bright pink there now, that's beautiful. And I can adjust the output then too as well, so I get it kind of, we'll say somewhere about that. It's not overexposing the image. Now, what we can do is we can change our wireless mode here too as well again then. We can also lock the screen. So if I press this button, the little lock indicators have to come on here. So if I touch the capacitive display on the back, it's not going to vary the light coloring, I should say. So the color picker is now disconnected. And if I unlock it, if I touch here anywhere, all of a sudden we're back to changing our color output again as this. So again, just press that button to lock it. It's incredibly easy to use, even manually. So this brings us to the question, who is the Neewer TL60 for? Well, this light is perfect for anyone looking for background lighting or for fill lighting on sets. With its two super simple mounting options and also being able to color correct your lighting by simply switching on the color match option and pairing it to lighting, you'll get a near exact match via the Neewer app. This all means that this light is perfect for on-the-go shoots, where you need an ultra portable, easy to use fill light or background light with great battery life and complete control, both wirelessly and manually, with 2 hours of light and 36,000 colours to choose from. Speaking of output then, the RGB WW gives the Neewer TL60 a CRI score of 97 plus and a TLC score of 98 plus, making it very colour accurate, and for a reasonably priced, high output power portable light, it really is a complete steal. You can of course vary its colour temperature all the way from 2500 Kelvin up to 10,000 Kelvin easily, both manually or also in the actual Neewer app itself, and it just takes seconds. The TL60 can be controlled, as I showed you earlier, both via the Neewer app or the beautiful touchscreen on the back, or you can also use the Infinity Mesh network or control it via DMX console control, which in all honesty I'm no specialist on, but it's something I'm learning at the moment. This basically gives you the capability of controlling a multitude of lights via the RJ45 port in studio setups, and you can design and set up complex lighting sequences and effects So the TL60 is going to replace the two background lights I have here. And that's not going to happen straight away. But when I finish my new YouTube setup, which by the way is going up into the attic because I need more space here. This is a very small studio setup I have here for my photography. But at the same time, you would be absolutely shocked at the companies I've worked for and produced work for out of here. It's quite frightening. It puzzles me at times how they'd even deal with me. But that's just life nowadays. Size doesn't really matter. And the other thing I've noticed is over the last 10 years I've been doing this, a lot of the companies, the bigger companies especially, have their own studio set up. So I'll travel to them and shoot there. But one of the really weird hang-ups since COVID is a lot of the shoots are outdoors now. So most of the product photography I'm doing is being shot outside. So you actually don't even need a studio a lot of the times. But anyway, yeah, when I've that finished, the TL60 is definitely going to be my background light. So yeah, can't wait to share news with you on that. Hopefully that's going to be done in the next 3 or 4 months. It's a work in progress at the moment with very limited time. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Mind yourselves and see you in the next video.